Well, taking a live look over campus marshes right now. On Friday, that tree is going to be lit up, and the holiday season here in Metro Detroit begins officially. But for many moms, this time of year means one thing: stress. A new study from the Calm Meditation app shows 65% of moms feel overwhelmed by the pressure to make the holidays just perfect. And it's even tougher for millennial moms. 83% say the mental load is stressful. 76% say they feel pressure to create the perfect holiday, and half report higher stress than last year. Now, when it comes to holiday stress, certain words make moms' heart race: budgeting, holiday shopping, and delayed shipping. 74% of moms say budgeting is a big stressor, 68% worry about shopping, and 64% feel anxious about those gifts arriving late. Well, we're going to try to help moms navigate some of that stress, if that's even possible. Joining us now is clinical psychologist Dr. Rose Moten. Dr. Moten, thank you for joining us here on a Tuesday morning. So it's one of those things where I don't know if you can avoid it, aside from pre-planning and doing everything as much as you can ahead of time, but holiday stress is holiday stress sometimes.
Holiday stress is holiday stress all the time, right? But there are definitely ways that we can combat it, and that's the great news. And we know women traditionally have been the ones to take on the bulk of the holidays, from shopping to cooking to entertaining, all of that stuff that brings on the stress.
You know, one thing that I often find when I'm talking to relatives or friends, again, as you mentioned, women bearing the brunt of this burden, is that there is this goal to make everything perfect all the
Yes.
time. And I think if we just lower our standards a little bit, because you know, I'm sure you've seen that video of there was a mom running around the house trying to clean, you know, saying, just throw the beds away. They don't, if it's not folded, don't do it yet.
Fluff
Nobody
those
is going in
pillows,
your
right?
closet to see if if your clothes are folded.
No, they are not. And thank God my four children who are now adults are not here, because they could give you some stories. I was one of those people guilty for years of trying to achieve that perfect holiday. And what I can tell individuals, as someone who's worked with women for now almost 30 years and have had my own experiences, is that less is definitely more.
Mm.
On the other side of this, when the kids are adults, when they are, reflecting back on the holidays, they are not remembering that the house was perfect or clean. They are remembering the connection. So I tell moms oftentimes, let's strive for a connection as opposed to perfection.
You know, it's funny you say that, because I think it also ties perfectly into what we're seeing in terms of gift giving, that a lot of people are moving towards experiences over gifts, just spending
Yeah.
quality time with each other.
Absolutely. And those actually form the best memories, with because if you have children, you may remember, you get these Christmas toys, and within a day or two some of them can be broken,
Hmm.
and years later they're not remembering that, but they're remembering the sing-alongs. I think back to my old childhood, and I remember the times my parents and we would sing the Christmas carols. They were president of our block clubs. We would go and do Christmas caroling down the street with other neighbors. I mean, these are the things that really make a difference. And you'd be surprised, even though kids oftentimes associate the holidays with materialistic items, when you talk to a lot of children and they talk about the experiences, more parents are even opting for vacations.
Mm.
I did that personally even with my children years ago for a holiday for Thanksgiving. Instead of traditionally doing what I did, I took them to Aruba, and they tell me when we were there, they said, we can do this every year. Of course they could, right?
Of
But
course, yes.
they would prefer. But it formed just such great memories for us, and I was not as stressed. Oftentimes when moms are striving for this perfection, they are not able to be present with the family, and it
Right.
really robs them of really enjoying the holidays for what they are intended for, and that's connection with family, friends, and loved
Right.
ones.
So if you do have let's say a type A client who just kind of can't let go of that, what do you tell them in terms
Yeah.
of managing that stress and managing expectations?
Yeah, I would really encourage them that it's beneficial, not just emotionally, but physically. We know when you are in that heightened stress, and oftentimes when you're trying to achieve this perfect holiday, you are depriving yourself of sleep, you're depriving yourself of rest. And this is a time of year where our immune systems can be challenged anyway. I started to see a trend years ago that every year for years, I'm talking 10 years plus, I noticed I would always get sick right at New Year's. And I started realizing it was because I was depleting my body. And I remember the one Christmas where I finally said, that's it, I'm done with the perfection. There was no sickness, there was no flu at New Year's, which was typically the trend for me for all those years.
And did you enjoy those holidays more when you finally just kind of said, let it be?
I absolutely did. And guess what? The family didn't mind at all.
Yeah, they probably didn't even
They didn't
notice,
mind.
except they noticed that
They
you were
didn't
happier.
even know. Can I say this too? I was happier and they were happier
Right.
because typically when moms are stressed, they're stressing the kids out too.
It's a real thing. Yeah, when mama's running around the house, that, people can feel that no matter what.
Yes.
I also wanted to ask you too, there's no shame in accepting help, right? I mean, you don't have to put on this beautiful 12-course spread all by yourself.
No, delegate. Potlucks are good. I say everything that's a challenge for us is an opportunity to look at why it's a challenge for us, right? So when we have problems delegating, sometimes there could be an indication that there's control issues that we need to really just examine there. Or as you mentioned, this goal to be perfect. I tell people release attachment to outcome. Just expect something is not going to be right. There's going to be a dish that didn't turn out right, or there's going to be a family member that may, tax your coping mechanisms. And that's just all part of just the human experience. So, the more we can allow ourselves to even delegate, invite people, and people who want to come into your homes for the holidays, usually an indication that they value, just that sense of love that they feel in your home. And they are more than willing to come and bring a dish with them or to help out in any way or to clean up after the festivities are done.
Right. The burnt pie makes for a great story afterwards anyway.
It makes those are the best stories, actually. Those are the best stories.
All right, Dr. Moten, thank you so much for your time this Tuesday. We appreciate
Thank you.